Yo, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's vlog. I'm sitting in front of my computer at my desk because today I want to talk about a topic that a lot of people seem to be interested in, and that's acquiring a rebuilt title. Now maybe you've purchased a car with a salvage title and now you're looking into getting a rebuilt title, or maybe you're thinking about purchasing a car with a salvage title. Well, either way, I'm here to help. So let's jump into it. Now a lot of people may think that acquiring a rebuilt title is a really hard process, but I've done this process twice so far and I can attest to the fact that it's not as hard as you may think. Now that's as long as you have all your paperwork in order. With that being said, I'm going to show you guys all the paperwork that you need and all the steps that you need to take to make this a smooth sailing process. So if that sounds good to you, smack that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This was the same process that I took to take my S2000 from this to this and get her back on the streets. Without further ado, let's get into it. First off, I should say that at the time that I'm filming this video, which happens to be mid-March 2020, this is the standard process for acquiring a rebuilt title. Now, with that being said, there's a possibility that the process for attaining a rebuilt title might change slightly in the future. However, this process has stayed the same for many years, so even if it does change, there's possibly only going to be slight variations, and this will still be a great beginner's guide to get you off to the races. Also, another point that I should mention is that some smaller insurance companies may not cover or fully cover rebuilt title vehicles. They might only cover collision, not necessarily comprehensive. Some bigger companies, however, do. So I would always get a quote before purchasing a salvage title vehicle just to make sure your insurance company will give you coverage. Now, you want to stay away from certificate of destruction vehicles, also known as CD titles. Once a vehicle has been deemed a CD title, it just means that the insurance company has deemed the vehicle too far damaged or too dangerous to be registered for street use. They can only be used for off-road use. So all you race car guys who are looking for great deals on cars or projects that you can have for race cars, CD titles might be a great option. But just keep in mind that you won't be able to register them or drive them on the street anymore. Now, CD titles can be purchased and exported. However, different countries have different laws, so you definitely want to do your homework before you look into purchasing a vehicle with a CD title. Once they're exported, that's a whole different story, but you just can't register the vehicle on American soil anymore. Now, that's a usual scenario. There might be special cases where people may have gotten CD titles removed, but none that I've personally seen. However, for the purposes of today's video, we're going to focus on salvage title vehicles and salvage rebuildable title vehicles. In that way, we'll know that they'll be able to get rebuilt, like I said, as long as you have all your paperwork and follow the steps that I'm about to tell you. Now, the first step to obtaining a rebuilt title is purchasing the vehicle that you want to get rebuilt. Now, when you purchase the vehicle, it's probably going to have a salvage title or a salvage rebuildable title. Prior to purchasing any vehicle, I can't stress this enough, you should always get a proper inspection to make sure you know what you're dealing with. Now, some vehicles may look like they have cosmetic damage, however, may have internal issues or underlying damage that you may not be able to see from photos. I can't stress this one enough. Always do a proper inspection before you purchase a vehicle with a salvage or salvage rebuildable title. In that way, you'll know what you're working with, and you'll also know what damage needs to be fixed before you can apply for a rebuilt title. Step number 2 is to take photos of the vehicle in its damaged state. This will come in handy later because the DMV or the inspection office will need to see these photos before granting you a rebuilt title. Now, this is the part where you really have to be detailed. Details are gonna matter in the end. Now, depending on what vehicle you're fixing, you always have to make sure that you have everything documented, because if you miss one thing, that could literally be the difference between you getting approved or getting denied for your rebuilt title. Now, as you're fixing the vehicle, depending on which route you choose to go, you're gonna need different things. If you use another vehicle like a donor vehicle for parts to fix your salvage title vehicle, you're also going to need the VIN number, the full VIN number from that donor vehicle. It's important to have this full VIN number for the donor vehicle because when you fill the forms out to bring to the DMV, they're going to request that. If you choose to go the aftermarket route and you use aftermarket parts to fix your salvage title vehicle, then you're going to need to keep your bill of sales and receipts because these are going to be requested by the DMV or the inspection office once you go to apply for your rebuilt title. Once the car is fixed and all good to go, all you have to do now is submit your paperwork to the DMV compliance examiner's office. When you're there, you're gonna submit your forms, photos of the vehicle in the wreck state, which is why it's so important to have this, your original bill of sales, your receipts, and sales tax. Usually there's gonna be a fee that you're gonna pay to the examiner, and it varies from state to state. It's usually around $40 to $150. You're also gonna have to bring proper proof of ownership, which includes the title and a bill of sale for when you purchase the vehicle. With the paperwork and all the information that you'll be submitting to the DMV, I always recommend having 3 copies of everything. 2 will go to the DMV and 1 will be left for your records. Once you submit your paperwork and everything is approved, you'll usually get a call within a week to bring the vehicle for inspection. If you've reached this point, then you're pretty much halfway to getting your rebuilt title. Once you bring your vehicle to the compliance examiner, they're gonna do a walk around and a full check to make sure that everything that you say you fix is actually fixed. Now these checks are pretty in-depth, so you wanna make sure prior to taking the car to be examined that everything that you listed is actually fixed correctly. So let's say at this point you've passed your inspection. Well, this calls for a celebration because you're almost there. At this point, you can start getting the champagne ready. Now, there's only 2 steps left to do at this point. Once you pass inspection, step number 3 will be you'll receive a sealed envelope from the compliance examiner. Now, it's very important, and I can't stress this enough, that you do not open the sealed envelope. If you open the sealed envelope or break the seal on the envelope even a little bit, you will have to start this process all over again because your DMV will not accept it. So step number 3, receive your sealed envelope and do not open it. Step number 4, once you submit your sealed envelope to your tax collector's office or license plate agency, they'll go ahead and verify that all the information matches up with their records. Once the step is done, congratulations, because you've just completed all the steps necessary to receive your rebuilt title, and you should be receiving it in the mail within about 2 weeks. Pretty easy process, right guys? As long as you take all the necessary steps and have all your paperwork in order to get the rebuilt title. Let's cover the steps one more time. Step number 1, purchase the vehicle. When purchasing a vehicle to be rebuilt, you always want to get a vehicle with a salvage or salvage rebuildable title. You always want to stay away from certificate of destruction titles, aka CD titles. Step number 2, take photos of the vehicle in the damaged state. This is also the step where you'll be rebuilding the vehicle, purchasing new parts, and fixing the vehicle. Once the vehicle is fixed, you can go ahead and submit all your forms and all your necessary documentation to the compliance examiner's office. Once this process is complete, they'll schedule an appointment for you to bring the vehicle to be examined. Once you pass the inspection, step number 3 will be taking the sealed envelope and not opening it. Like I said, I can't stress enough, make sure you don't break the seal on the envelope. If you do, you'll have to start this process all over from scratch. Step number 4, go to your tag agency or license plate agency and submit your paperwork. Really easy process. And just like that guys, we've reached the end of today's video. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope I helped at least one person with today's guide. If I did, be sure to smack that thumbs up button one time for your boy and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.